Hi, everyone. Welcome to the IDK Show. I'm Cindy.
Hey, everyone. I'm John. Thanks for joining us. Cindy, what is the IDK Show?
The IDK Show stems from Bu Zhi DAO. This Bu Zhi DAO is a community of builders, enthusiasts, founders in Web3. So it's a very cool space where we share, educational resources, help onboard more people into Web3.
Today, we're joined by Hsuan Lee. Hsuan Lee is the co-founder and CEO of Portto, and he's here to drop some alpha on lessons he's learned, growth that he's had, and all the cool things that are coming. So everyone, please welcome Mr. Hsuan Lee. What's up, Hsuan? Excited to have you on another episode of the IDK Show.
Happy to be here and introduce our stuff and myself. I graduated as a computer science major, and I have been working as a software engineer since. I've always wanted to start my own company. I don't want to do it right after I graduate. So I went to different companies, Yahoo, I went to Agoda, I went to 17 Media to learn their best practice and what obstacles a company may face in their various stages. In 2015, I started to work in blockchain. Initially, I started to do some side project in the Ethereum ecosystem. And then in 2017, I joined one of the largest blockchain technology company in Taiwan. It's called Cofounder as the VP of engineering. And I oversaw the development of the crypto exchange. That is where I met my co-founder for this current company. So Edwin, he was in charge of ecosystem building back in the previous company, and I was in charge of the technical aspect. And along with a couple of other engineers from the previous company, started Blocto or Portto. So initially it was 6 people. Yeah, and now we are a team of like 40 something people. And we're looking to get to probably 50 or 60 by the end of this year. Since we started, we have been focusing on making blockchain simple because we are like strong believers in the long-term value of blockchain. Once more people learn more about how it works and what value it can bring to the world, like people can make better use of it. Yeah, so we want to bring more users into the space. And one of the biggest obstacle that's stopping it is user experience. So most of the applications, blockchain-based applications back in 2019 or even now are very difficult to use. Just setting up a wallet may take like a couple of hours. They have to understand how seed phrase works, and they have to go to an exchange, purchase some native token to pay for the gas fee, and it has kept a lot of users like outside of the door of Web3. And yeah, it's a pity. So we have been focusing on making this onboarding experience as simple, as easy as it can be since our first day at Portto. So Blocto is the experience, the wallet that we built to serve this purpose. So we majorly provide 2 functionalities. One of them is a mobile wallet app, and the other is SDKs that can get plugged into any web app, any mobile app, either on iOS or Android, or games that are built with Unity. So in these partner applications, users don't really even have to download a Chrome extension or a mobile app. They can just go to these applications and have the like wallet experience embedded directly in there. And they can set up a wallet within like 10 seconds and start using these applications.
Is there a quick high level of the name Blocto that's interesting?
So initially the name Blocto is coming from a Bloctopus. So we want to become the octopus in blockchain space. By octopus, we mean that so it has 8 legs and it is smart. And so the idea is that we like grab different components or different services in the Web3 space and then put them into one and serving our users. So yeah, so initially it was a Bloctopus, but it's too long. So we just shortened it to Blocto.
I love that. That's
Nice.
great.
People don't come because they want to use blockchain. People come because of the functionalities or benefits that blockchain provides. So the idea is that the user might not even notice that there's a wallet, or they might not even notice there's like token or NFTs in it. Take like World of Warcraft, WoW, for example. Like it has built a very successful economy in game even before Web3 is a thing or token is a thing. So people play with it because of the story, because of the world they construct. And then like when they put more time into it, like they start to realize there's a like auction mechanism in it. There's an ecosystem in it, and you can actually make some money from it, but it's not the main purpose of the game. For the games that we work with, they start with the game. So for the users, they don't really feel the blockchain that much. Like they just feel that, okay, so now this gold coin or this crystal that I earned in the game can somehow get tapped into other marketplaces, actually trade it or send it to my friends so they can accelerate the growth. They don't really need to learn about token or even gas fee in the process. They just feel that they connected their game account to their email, and with that email, they can access this additional wallet or additional place to hold their assets. Yeah,
I totally agree with that. I think Blocto and crypto applications need to be user first. It kind of reminds me of, like back when I guess the internet first started or AI first kind of came out. It all is a buzzword at the moment. So websites will promote that as if it's a feature. But to the user, like you said, they don't need to know that they're really on the blockchain. What they really want is that the ability to kind of transfer those tokens somewhere else if needed, or just, have less of a barrier into accessing the game or the application that they're using. What is a main feature that you've seen that users are really looking for when they're trying to interact with, apps or crypto itself?
It would be interoperability. So I would think of a wallet as your identity in the Web3 space. In Web2, you would go to a website and you would sign up for a Google account, and then you would sign up a Facebook account, and you enter your information multiple times. They won't share this information with one another because these are the data of the users, are their core assets in the company. But in Web3, you control your data and you control who you authorize this information to. And it's kept with you, and you can use the same identity across various applications. This is one of the most powerful thing in Web3. So you can use the same identity or same wallet that keeps your assets in different places. So that makes interoperability possible, or that makes a world like Ready Player One possible, where you can bring your assets from different games, from different game issuers and into other worlds. And this is actually beneficial for all of the gamers and the users, but it was not possible because in the Web2 game, because they all these Blizzard, Valve, they will want to build their own platform, and nobody would just give up their value and just join a platform that's built by another company. So yeah, so this is made possible in Web3, and I think this is pretty exciting.
Right, and I feel like that ties to what you mentioned about your SDK and how it can be used across different platforms. Could you maybe tell us a little bit more about what you're building there?
So when users sign up, they can sign up with their emails within 10 seconds. And so initially, their keys are kept with us in our key management service. Later, when they learn more about blockchain and they learn more about Web3 or private key, seed phrases, they can take ownership of their accounts completely, but in the later stage. Yeah, so they don't have to learn all this stuff from day one, because on day one, they don't really care them that much about keeping these keys for themselves, because they don't have any assets yet. And they just want to try out these games quickly. This is actually more similar to the freemium kind of experience that we have now, because people want to try out stuff before they actually think about paying for it or putting more effort into it. But right now in Web3, most of the applications or most of the wallets are forcing users to learn too much. You're forcing them to pay on day one to purchase gas fee in order to start using any application. Yeah, so we think this is a more seamless experience, seamless onboarding experience. But still, like if they learn more about blockchain, they learn more about decentralization, and they feel that this is something that they care about, they can do that conversion in a later stage. So our SDKs is on the top of our funnel. Like it helped bring more users into the space. And then when they like these, they can download our app and to manage their assets more securely, more conveniently, and they can discover more applications that they can make use of their assets.
Yeah, I love that funnel idea too. And most people, they don't want to commit to something right away. They want to freemium. They want to try it out, and then if they want to use it, they'll go further. So I think that's great that you guys are doing that.
Is there kind of like educational initiatives coming from Blocto, or are you allowing users to explore crypto how they want?
So there is a section of, we call it blockchain guide in Blocto app. So for starter, we introduce them to how blockchain works and how tokens work, how different blockchains work, and how they can get their hands on the first stable coin, and how they can start experimenting with different applications. Either it's finance or it's game. Yeah, I think it is something really crucial for us to do, or for any company already in the Web3 space to do, to get more users on board. Like a lot of people are working on it, and we are also doing our part.
In terms of Portto though, and are you guys building on a layer one?
We are actually partnering up with a couple of different layer ones. One of our partner is Flow. We are currently the largest wallet on Flow. 85% of the stakers or delegators on the Flow network that are staking their Flow token for rewards are staking through us in Blocto wallet. But we also work with a couple of other ecosystems, including Solana, Ethereum, Polygon, Avalanche, BNB Chain, and Tron. Compared to other wallets, we focus more on the application side, but less on the finance side of the use cases. We work with blockchain ecosystems that want to appeal to these kind of audience as well. If they want to focus on games, focus on social, or focus on converting Web2 corporates to adopt Web3 technology, we are there to help.
That's very cool. And as a wallet, you probably get the first-hand view of what users are doing, and also what L1s or L2s are building for users. Mm-hmm. Is there any trend that you can see coming out of use cases in crypto that is better for, mass adoption?
I'm a strong believer in games or Gamefi, because it's not too sensitive. It's not in the way of banks or governments. It's games, but it can demonstrate what blockchain or what Web3 can do, and you can experiment DAO or economy in games, and it's engaging. It has the potential to keep users there for a long time. Games are always one of our focus on in collaboration and partnership. We see it in a lot of our partners. They don't really grow that exponentially in a bullish market, but they don't die out in a bearish market. They just keep growing steadily. So if you want to build a AAA game, if you want to build a game that is actually fun to play, it takes a larger team and it takes more time. I would bet that the next bullish market can very likely be driven by these more engaging or more complete experiences that can get more users that haven't tried out blockchain yet.
Yeah, I'm seeing that as well right now. A lot of the consulting work I'm doing, a lot of people are focusing on, like you said, the gaming aspect, but also, educational aspects and how it can be less speculative for the next, especially during the bear, but for the next bull. If we really want to have sustainable growth, as you're talking about, we need to create user experiences. I was hoping we could kind of end the show with talking a little bit about DAOs. How did you find out about Bu Zhi DAO? And, what do you think is kind of the future for DAOs in the whole Web3 ecosystem?
I think it's Cindy that introduced me to Bu Zhi DAO. Yeah, and I really like it in here. These are enthusiasts that are like looking forward to the growth of Web3. I think this is a very healthy community. And I think in terms of DAO, we do have a DAO for ourselves as well. So we kind of vote what our focus is in the Blocto ecosystem, which chain we integrate with next, or like which feature we prioritize. And I think this is one of the most powerful thing that Web3 provides. So for example, like if you're building a social network for in Web2, like at some point, these users become your assets, like in Facebook. Like you make use of the data and you don't really have to share with the users. But in Web3, like you kind of grow the network effect together. And because a lot of the value of this product or the network is actually provided by the people that are participating in it. And it is only fair that you share this profit with the early supporters, with the community as you grow. This helps the community grow even faster. Your interests are aligned, share the value generated from it with the community. So I think this is a very powerful thing that Web3 enables.
So when it comes to the DAOs and protocols or wallets or dApps, how do you make that decision on what can be voted on by users? What should really just come from the internal team? So
we take a more progressive approach. So initially the voting comes from us, but in 2 years from now, the community will take the majority of the token. So then it will be the community that is decided, that is making the proposal. You have to guide it through the initial process and attract the right people to participate. Because if you just decentralize too early, people with different ideas may just direct this ecosystem, direct this DAO to somewhere very random. But if you can do your part and guide the ecosystem to a place that you feel is valuable, and you attract the right people into it along the way, these people know the idea you're trying to focus on to make it more sustainable and make it shared by the community. Any DAO may have to experience this kind of transition process.
Yeah, I think that's something we've all seen. I think finding the right incentive structures to, make people care about governance and writing proposals and stuff like this. I think, we're in such the early stages of this, but are you guys thinking about how you can do that in terms of governance? Do you want your token to actually be the governance token? If it's just an inflationary asset? Have you guys kind of thought about how we can rethink governance tokens around that?
So Blocto token is the governance token in our ecosystem. I wouldn't say we are expert in this yet. I do read a lot of articles from either A16Z or a lot of growth hacking experts that are now focusing on the growth hacking of Web3 tokens. As we grow, we would learn more about how to build a healthy and growing ecosystem.
A question we love to ask here too on the IDK show is, as a founder, now you decided to start a company. I'm sure you've been dealing with all sorts of things, but yeah, could you kind of take us through, how's it been? Any advice you can share with potential founders?
As I mentioned, I have been in this space since 2015, and I have seen a couple of ups and downs, bulls and bears. I think one of the biggest advice I would give is to believe in what you're doing. So a lot of people lose their faith in bearish market and they just give up. The most successful projects out there are created in bearish markets, when there is less competition and you can just focus on building your own stuff. And it's kind of adversity shapes a better character or shapes a better company, because if you can keep it together in a bearish market, when the next bullish market comes, you're ready. You're like in a better shape and you have the infrastructure ready to capture the opportunity. Back in 2019 and 20, we have been doing a lot of user research, doing a lot of market research, and we have been trying out different ways to keep users or to attract users. And all this made it possible for us to actually grow in 2021. So so believe in what you're doing and think long term.
It's been great to have you on, Hsuan. Thank you so much for your insight, your wisdom. And where can people maybe find more about Blocto? Where can they find more about you on social media?
So they can go to our Twitter. Our Twitter handle is Blocto app, Blocto app. Yeah, so you can find the information there and the entrance to our Discord, the entrance to our tech docs. Yeah, so you can start your blockchain journey with Blocto from there.
Awesome, Hsuan. Well, thank you again for joining us on the IDK show, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
100 of us. You've got friends here.
你知不知道？你在不在？
我不知道。